Hey, everybody. It was me this time, not Brandon. We had 2 minutes until go time, and my internet decided it did not want to work anymore. So I am coming at you from my phone instead of my computer, and I have no internet. So
you got to pay your bills on time.
And unfortunately, I'm not going to Instagram either. So,
bummer.
Very much a bummer.
A good bunch of people here on YouTube.
Oh yeah. So if anybody's on both Instagram and the YouTube, well, I guess there isn't one on Instagram, but whatever. Anywho, all right. Yeah. So we are on the final four, round one of the final four of my little pet project here. We got Brandon, officially Duckworth, going against Marshall at Rough Spirits. So far. I do believe they are really close to tied in actual points throughout the whole thing. I did not do the math beforehand. He might, because he did get a 10-pointer.
It's up there.
I think he's got, if I remember correctly, he's technically the points leader in the whole competition.
But this shit's tough as hell.
Anyways,
it is really hard.
Anyways, so without any more further ado here, let's you guys open those up and get them in your glasses and do all that?
We did. I was sipping on the Mirador Eclipse beforehand. But yeah, got this one sitting here. Whoa.
Oh shit.
Whoa.
Got to change pins. No, that's just the sweat from the day. I haven't had a chance to take a shower. I literally got home and jumped on. If I'd have known Germ was going to be late, I'd have taken
this is going to be a rough show. You guys get.
We are on the Rough Spirits.
Man, I'm telling you, dude, that was fucking weird. I was circling that neighborhood, and there was just randomly a fucking gas grill in a cul-de-sac in the middle of kind of in the middle of the woods almost. It was the weirdest fucking thing. So I make my U-turn. I'm coming back out of the neighborhood, and as I'm doing it, there's just deer all over the place. And I'm like, I've got something to take that deer out right now. There's a barbecue pit in the middle of the cul-de-sac. I might have lunch here.
This is a weird one to start. You see all our stuff?
This is going to go really rough. I can see it already because I can't hardly hear you. It's all robot-y.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We will talk. Oh shit! There he goes.
We haven't started yet.
He may be coming in and out with us.
Well, I guess we'll just keep it rolling because
I'm gonna let it roll.
Whatever. Worst case, he doesn't see nothing. We get another round. This is a funky nose.
Yeah, just hey, something went wrong. It says that's the screen that I get to look at. I don't like it when my internet doesn't work. It's not good. So you guys are going through on number one, correct?
Yep, and it's so far I've just nosed it. It's really funky stuff.
I've had something like this before, but I don't know what it is. Tony, you're goddamn right, Tony. Pennywise does not use red balloons. You got to go lift that fucking grill up. The thought crossed my mind to go take a look at it, and then I'm like, no, I'm going to get shot.
Oh, this is really throwing me off a little bit.
Well, good. That's my goal. You know, that's my goal. I do love me some Hampton Nia.
Wait a minute. All right. Okay.
Don't overthink it. Just run through it.
Oh yeah, I'm going through my first initial impressions. Always go with the gut. I actually think this is probably for the generic ABV. You need to be within 2 points. Is that right?
Yeah, plus or minus 2.
All right, I'm gonna go with this.
Mike wants to know what you're sipping on.
I'm glad you asked. I'm drinking an SMWS called Subtle Trickster. Yes, I did that on purpose. It is a 68, which I believe is I believe I forgot what it is.
Oh,
yes.
You know what? Distillery.
Ryan, still, it's still random with a little bit more purpose. So, like, I go through the randomizer a few times to get what I think will be fun. No, really Ben Nevis is 78, Martin.
This is really, really, really good stuff. I feel like I'm about there. Are you almost there, Marshall?
I've got exact bottle and distillery that I'm trying to guess, and there's something in the back of my brain. It's itching. I'm almost certain I've had something down this vein before.
Right.
I just can't think of the bottle or the distillery.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I'm wondering if we're thinking the same thing.
I'm not certain on the proof either. Right. The proof is a weird one on this one because it immediately comes in hot, and then because it settles out and flattens out so much of in the back of that tongue, and doesn't linger in the front or on the sides at all. It makes me think that it's high proof, but because of the style of whiskey, it tamps itself back down. So. And I do think the particular grain is an interesting one.
Yeah. All right. I'm just writing this down.
Charles, I don't think Blarethol is correct, but maybe. I don't know.
All right. I'm just going to go with my gut here.
That's usually the best, Brandon.
Yep.
And sorry, this internet thing threw me way off here. This was completely unexpected. But
I have a quick question on a specific bottle. I have the bottle in mind, and I know the name of it, like, mostly. You know what I mean? I'll just wait till I get to that point, and you can count it or not. But
yeah.
All right. I think I'm ready to go.
Give me just a second.
Yeah. Take your time, brother.
Okay, Ryan. Then if you looked on that app from Scott, then yeah, then Blarethol is 100% correct.
Yeah.
Good job, Charles.
What are you saying over there? They're all eating dinner, and I'm like over here eating my dinner, I guess.
Drinking dinner.
Yeah, I got tri-tip.
Thanks, Nia.
Pineapple.
Appreciate it.
Habanero rice waiting for me when we're done. Good stuff.
That actually does sound good for some reason.
You know when you go to HEB and you taste like what they're cooking? We'll go through.
I don't go to HEB very often.
You're not in Texas. But tonight we bought the habanero. Anyways, whatever.
All right, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good when you are.
All right, so usually I always start on the left side of my list. Today I'm going to change it up. Brandon, go ahead and start. Give me your guesses.
Okay, generic category, American. Generic ABV, 58%. Generic casking, New Oak. Specific category, American, American whiskey, bourbon. Like, I don't know how specific to get, but it's a weeder. So
okay, so as far as categories, you got and generically, bourbon, rye, single malt, single pot still,
So weeded American is so generic category American specific wheat. Is that
like you're going with a wheat whiskey or a weeded bourbon or
American weeded whiskey? American weeded bourbon.
A weeded whiskey.
Wheat whiskey. Sorry, American weeded whiskey. American weeded bourbon makes sense. American
wheat whiskey. I got you. Okay.
There we go. All right. Age. Oh, never mind. Specific category. Yeah. Specific ABV 61.2. This number I pulled out of my ass. Specific cask, new oak. Exact distillery, Maker's Mark. Exact bottle, I think it's the Maker's Mark, the RC02, like the special release. You know, the yearly, they have 2 yearly ones.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
Did it? Yeah. Does that make sense? That makes sense.
It makes sense.
Okay. And this is my weakness: American bourbon and rye and weeded. I don't ever have weeded whiskey, really. So that's my weakness for me for sure. Single malt's more my jam. So we'll see.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Marshall.
Marshall, give it to me.
Single malt.
Okay.
55%.
What do you say? 40?
55.
55.
Okay.
New oak.
Okay.
All right. I have for a specific category American single malt, and I put a caveat in there. I think it's a chocolate malt of some sort.
Okay.
Yeah. For the specific ABV, I went 94. Figured I can kind of spread those points out. 94 proof.
94 proof.
Yep.
Okay.
Not seeing the age. Now, as far as the distillery.
Specific casking. Staying with new.
Casking, new oak. All new oak.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I put the exact distillery. I put Westland, right? I put Westland for the distillery, but for the bottle, as weird as it is, I put Foggy Burl, which is a redwood bottle. But there's that weird chocolate milk, black pepper fucking thing that's going on in there. And
I got you.
That is craft American single malt to me in new oak. And that's rung true about 3 or 4 times now. So I'm just going to leave it at that as my guess.
I probably should add some water to this thing.
Oh, that is a letdown of a nose compared to the last one.
With water, it's malty and citrusy. But I always add water. It's like a citrusy and malty with water. Anyways.
All right, sample 2.
Those were very different guesses.
Yeah. Surprising.
Very different.
Are we on to 2?
Yeah,
you are on to 2. Yep.
After 2.
Let me
I got to be honest, I don't care for 2 that much. Just off the flavor in the beginning. I'm gonna go grab a bottle of water real quick so I can try to rinse it out.
Yeah, cleanse your palate because that one was weird. And it's funny. It's weird how the mind plays tricks on you. When I was nosing it, I was getting a weeder. And then I didn't add water, which I always need to do. Oh, with a baby spoon. Perfect. And then when he started mentioning single malt, then I started getting a little bit of maltiness. And then when I added water, it was a citrusy note. And I was like, it still could be a weeder, but it's kind of interesting. There we go. That's my
all right. Here we go.
Jason, thanks for joining. We little technical difficulty. I lost my internet, so I'm coming at you from my phone. Everything's a little bit more difficult, so comments and stuff are not getting ignored purposefully.
Clammy,
but they're different. They're difficult. Ryan, yeah, Hy-Vee is awesome. Which one did you go to? The one in Green Bay? What's up, Zach? Spicy, yeah. That was a steal at that Hy-Vee, for sure.
Wait, number 2's over here. Oh my god, I almost sipped number 1 again. There we go, number 2.
Don't do that.
Woo! All right.
Hey, Patty.
Now we're back in my wheelhouse. Maybe.
Yeah, we're out of my wheelhouse.
It's actually, hold on. Wow, that's a lovely subtle nose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Charles, you're not wrong, but I would just ignore him then and not everybody else.
ABV is tough. Let's see.
Marshall's getting a lot of love here, bud. A lot of love in the comments.
Which is funny because I'm a fucking asshole.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's rather surprising.
Yeah,
No one
sometimes
knows
I
me
think
on here,
people
man.
need to
I've been shadow
banned.
banned. I've been shadow banned on Twitter, on Instagram for 3 years. I haven't grown a single follower in over 3 years. I went from 0 to 3,400 in like 7 months, and then I posted stuff on COVID, and since then I haven't gained a single follower the whole time. So
Yeah, that'll do it.
I'm shadow banned. I just don't grow. I don't care, but like that's what
Oh, Patty, you're the shit, man.
All right, this is where I'm. Hold on.
I need a little bit more of that sample too. It is not giving up much, to be honest. It's really kind of holding in tight.
That's what she said.
Hey. It's getting weird in here.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome that you're finding something on there. What does the tape say that I put on that bottle, Caesar? I don't remember off the top of my head which ones I sent you, and I didn't make a spreadsheet for it like I normally do when I give out samples.
I think I'm ready with this one.
I need just a little bit more time.
Okay.
You got it, man. We're only at 7:26, so we're ahead of schedule even with the delay in the beginning.
I'm just blah 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 blah. I wish my palette was a little. I wish I could just like take off that higher proof from the first one, because the higher proof, I didn't add water, and it's definitely at least 58%. I feel like kind of tingled my taste buds a little bit.
This sample 2 is a boring whiskey. It just there's nothing on this palette that really excites me. It's something really intriguing.
That Caesar is just the regular core range of Revenant oak that if you can get it shipped into Illinois, you can order it right on their website.
I mean, regular Revenant's nice.
Yeah, that's what he's got.
Back end, it's subtle.
He's getting this cool sour fruit punch thing on it on the nose, which is kind of cool to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I mean, that
Hey, whoa.
Hey, thanks, Joe. Yeah, mods, come on, get on it.
Okay, I'm good to go, I think.
Marshall's still working through it.
Yeah, give me a second. This is not.
Yeah, you're fine. Take your time. No rush. No rush. Speaking of our mods, what's up, Drew?
What's that in the background? You're not
the Whiskey Shaman podcast may or may not have a special episode out today.
Oh, did he put something out? I didn't see it yet.
He did. He just released it a little bit ago, and him and I did. I was a guest on his podcast, and we talked about Good Cop, Bad Cop, and Great Northern.
Oh, cool.
So it's a short one. It's only 39 minutes, I think I saw. So, but it was a good time. I think we did a really good job. There wasn't any. I don't think there was any editing, much editing, if any.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? If I get this right, I'm gonna be pissed because I'm throwing out a wild guess.
Turn and burn. We like those. Those are good. Those are nice and easy. Don't have to do nothing. So yeah, guys, check out the Whiskey Shaman podcast if you listen to podcasts. Also, Bourbon with Friends. That's a good show. I got to listen to Monday's episode today. Fantastic episode. It was with Trip from Barrel Spirits, Barrel Craft Spirits.
I don't have the space right now.
And go ahead, drop your links there, guys.
I don't know the distillery. I have a bottle guess, but I don't actually know who makes it because I think it's a sourced product.
Which one, Spicy? I mean, you're not, Charles. I actually wasn't going to say anything about your typing because I just figured you were on a bender.
It's tough. It's tough.
You know, as far as podcasts go, I don't listen to a lot of them. Obviously, I'm going to listen to you guys, both Bourbon with Friends and Whiskey Shaman because what starts out, I like you guys, right? And then 2, I actually enjoy them. But I listen to them on Amazon, and I don't know how that translates to you guys. Like, how do you know if what people are listening to on what platform? Do you get a report from each of the platforms, or?
All right, you ready, brother?
I am ready to go, man.
All right, shoot it.
Cool. Marshall, go ahead and fire them off.
Fire them off. All right. I've got pot still. Single pot still is what I've got.
Okay.
I guessed the generic ABV at 46%. Generic casting ex bourbon.
So used
oak. Yeah, used oak.
The specific will be ex bourbon. Go ahead. Category.
Yeah, specific. Yeah, specific will be ex bourbon, and then so specific category I put Irish pot still.
Okay.
I went 92% alcohol by volume, or 92 proof. Sorry, 92 proof.
92 proof.
Yep.
Okay.
And then on the specific casting, I put used oak, and then the what is it, the Montalina sherry cask, I believe is what it is, right? Or the Montalina cask. And then I thought this was the green spot Montalina is what I thought this was. But I didn't remember the distillery, so I just wrote Great Northern. I didn't remember the distillery name.
Brandon, go ahead.
Single malt.
Okay.
Generic ABV 43%. Generic casking used oak. Specific category Scotch. Specific ABV 43%. Specific cask ex sherry and ex American. Macallan. And specific bottle Macallan 12 double cask. But I was torn between that and the 15 fine oak, but I think it's a 12 double cask.
Now, did you get that because of that little bit of a dirty finish that this one has?
I got it because Macallan has this almond nut character and a baked goods note on the palate. And when I first nosed it, I didn't get it, but when I tasted it, I was like, oh, this tastes kind of like Macallan. But then a deep Macallan, the 12 sherry is very, very more sherry forward. This was not. So I thought there was some ex-American whiskey, ex-bourbon note. And then the finish, that chocolate almond, it just is very Macallan. But I will say I've had some red Briest that the 12, not the cast strength, but it's like the 12, and then like the whatever that.
Lestal?
Yeah, the Lestal had a similar character, and I can see where you get a pot.
Yeah, it presents relative. It presents somewhere between your standard Irish and Scotch.
Right.
But the weird part about it is it's that weirdness on the back end of the palate that's just.
I do get a little sulfur note, and I almost went with red Briest, a red Briest Irish whiskey, but my first impression was Macallan, so I went with that. But it's gonna be gross. It's red Briest. Okay, everyone says red breast. Nah, I call it Briest.
Let the man live his goddamn life. He's on time this fucking week. Okay, he can say whatever the fuck he wants.
The first two samples.
I mean, you know what, Marshall? You're not wrong.
Like we got different profiles for both whiskeys so far, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Like not even the same category. Like both of us are off on the category.
I will say this though, on this one, you both went with sherry. You were both in the mid to low 40s on the ABV.
Well, he went with ex-bourbon.
You were both. He said ex-bourbon and Montelena sherry.
Oh, Montelena sherry. That's right. Sorry, I'm sorry.
And you were both.
So we were close
in the malt grain, at least on this one. So I mean, this one was closer than the first one. The first one, you guys were very, very different.
I guess it's going to come down to number 3. Which
well, that's an awfully pleasant nose on 3.
Hold on, let me pour this thing. I had to wash a glass, or have my assistant wash a glass.
I like that.
Fun, man. This is fun. Yeah, I got spoon-fed rice and got
Middleton. I could not remember Middleton. I'm gonna be honest. I've never owned a spot.
Oh yeah, the world is flat. We don't live on a spinning ball. Correct.
Yeah, I've never actually bought a spot before in my life, so I couldn't remember exactly who made it.
Man,
Corey.
that second one was really good, and if you smell a dry glass on that second one, there's a lot of herbs going on. Interesting. That
has
those herbal notes are not Macallan, so maybe it is Irish. All right. Like I need to sniff some coffee beans. Hold on.
Well, I mean, it was like 2. Whatever 2 is boring enough to the point where I would not buy it.
I don't have any fucking what?
Not gonna do it.
I have no coffee beans to sniff. This sucks. Coffee beans will really clear that fucking nose out. Now we're being led on.
I like that. This is my favorite nose of the night.
Smell the bend of your elbow.
Yeah, it smells pretty good.
Not there. That might throw you off.
I think it smells something else.
I don't want to smell it.
Babe, let me smell your crotch. Oh God, that was bad. That's why I'm banned on Instagram.
Thanks, Drew. I try to keep the shirt game strong.
This nose is really good. Hold on, I got a.
Oh, 3's a fun one. Oh, what the fuck is that? Oh, fuck. We're in trouble. That is a wild experience.
Whoa. Fruity Pebbles and Marshmallow Lucky Charms on the finish.
Yeah.
Shit.
Sweet as fuck, but dark and rich as hell. That is a fun whiskey. Whatever that is, that's fun.
It's like a fucking pixie stick and like a fun dip. Do I get so much fun dip?
Yeah.
Ryan, you are not wrong.
What the fuck is this? Oh,
if
man.
that is peated, I'd laugh my ass off.
This is not peated. Number 3, there's no way. If you get anything, it's sulfur notes from the distillate. There's no way this is peated unless it's very subtle. This is like going to a fair and just getting a bunch of fucking sticks.
You know what? Des and Patty, both of you can go fuck off.
Dude, this is.
I mean, even on the nose, this thing is far better.
Rum or wine cast unless it's fully matured. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. What the fuck is this? All right. Whoa.
You know what this has? This has a familiarity only because I'm gonna save that thought. We're gonna come back to that.
I honestly think that we're gonna come down to like 1-2 points with each other.
I don't know. All I gotta say is like
I have no idea.
This is, I'm digging it.
I will say in the first 2 rounds, I was very sure of everything.
I swear to God, Patty, if this is fucking Detling, I'm beating the shit out of both Germ and fucking Martin.
If this is Detling, I'll go buy a bottle. I'll fucking drive to Alabama. But no,
that's really gonna piss me off.
Only round I felt very, very, very challenged. Like I don't know. The first two are very hit and miss, and this one could be anything. Holy shit!
I'm
loving this. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is the only
fucking Des. It's equal double.
Very challenging. Like this is very challenging. This is extremely challenging. Like I don't know if people.
If Marshall loses, does he have to grow hair? I don't know if he actually can.
I can't, man. I'm losing it faster than I can.
I have a rule. If you have no hair on your head, you need to have a beard or a face. Not a rule. It's just like you can't have hair in both places. But hold on.
What is that?
So
okay.
I don't know. Like, do people? I wonder if people understand how tough it is to blind taste like this.
It's incredibly difficult.
It's very difficult and fun. It's very fun. I hope you do this every year.
I want to. I want to keep it going.
Long and like it's like the reigning champ up against whoever.
It's so when I started this and had the idea and it was all starting to come together, right? I didn't realize the amount of time, effort, work, all of that stuff that it was actually going to be. And I'm like, wow, I got into it. And I'm like, man, this is actually, it really started coming around in the second round. And it was like, this is actually a good bit of work. So I may, from now on, keep it to 16 and just maybe try to do different 16 every time. Have a couple people from the first one so that there's some,
you could do
defending titles and so on and so forth.
But single malt, you could do 8 under American whiskey. You could do 8 on subcategory of whiskey.
I could. Yep, I could do that too.
Work out really well.
This one is different than anything I've ever had, probably ever. I will say that.
That is also my goal, right there. That statement right there.
Everything I've ever had, ever, and I've had Starlight. I've had a lot, guys. I've drinking a lot of whiskey. Like this is different.
You know what fucks me up on this though? The ABV is not presenting right, and I've been struggling with ABV all night long, but this thing feels hot sometimes and doesn't feel hot other times.
Well, I will say, never mind. I'll say later.
That's the part that
I would love to have Mad Citric on, Travis. I think that would be super fun.
It'd be fun to have people on it like represent distilleries, because like I think
I would like to do
really humbled a bit.
I didn't necessarily have the thought of distillers or distillery people or representatives. Obviously, Brian, he's like the guy for 10th Mountain Whiskey. But I think people like Lost Lantern or the guys from
get Adam in here.
Single Cask Nation and Raising Glasses. I think those guys would be really fun to have on.
The fuck? Coconut.
Dude, this proof is insane.
But never mind. I don't want to say because I want to give shit away. I feel like I don't want to hint at things, but the proof being what it is means there's a lot of cask influence in this.
Yeah.
It's either aged a long time or it's in a hot climate. Because it drinks hot. It drinks less than the proof. So
the proof is only on the back.
Holy shit, pina colada. Whatever this bottle is, I'm gonna fucking buy it like this week. I swear. This is so and this is like the first two whiskeys weren't strong enough to make that third one seem so good. You know how if you have a lot of peat or a lot of like you're like, and then you taste it later on the plain palate, it's like this is very good whiskey. This might be the best sample of the whole thing for me.
You see it, Martin?
It's
it's got some color to it.
Martin, stop talking because I Stop talking.
Oh, you know what? You sick son of a bitch. If this is what I think it is, I'm coming after you.
Well, now he has it in our head because he posted it in the chat.
No, nobody posted it in the chat.
Yeah, but people are posting their guesses and stuff.
Oh, you mean, okay. I see what you're saying. No.
Yeah.
People have been saying Malort and Cruisin' Rum and all that stuff too.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I mean,
I know.
But
Someone
Patty,
says
just
it's a wine.
killing me.
It's a wine whiskey, unless it's fully wine matured, but it's not unless it's something. Anyways, I need some more time on this.
Oh, yeah.
Marshall, add some water.
Just a drop?
Water. Like if you have your proof down, add some water. That's my mistake on sample 1, by the way.
I actually am thoroughly enjoying listening to you guys go through this.
We're going to be pissed at this fucking third bottle.
I will say this because it's not going to give anything away. I'm actually torn between a bourbon, a Scotch, and an American single malt all at the same time.
You're not the only one.
Which is weird because the bourbon.
Because here's what it is. It has back palate characteristic that does not match the front.
Right.
And then it has a prolonged finish that doesn't match what the fuck is on the palate, on the front and back palate. So it's really hard to get this one narrowed down.
Wow.
I will say this: when this landed, when the randomizer landed on this one, I laughed.
Oh, I bet you did.
I know now the category. The generic category. I don't know anything else, but this is very, very good whiskey. No pressure, Marshall. This might decide it all.
I'm just going to be pissed. My only thought is how fucking mad I'm going to be when I find out what this is. That's my only fucking thing.
There's no way it's not Weller. It is Weller, actually. It is Weller. I'm going to say that.
If this is Weller CYPB, this is the last time you are ever seeing me.
Man.
If this is Weller, this is the last time you're here.
If this is a Weller CYPB or a single barrel, then yeah, I'm done.
All right. Man. I don't know why I told you to add water. I should have shut the fuck up. It's just fun It's not even about like going to the. It's like so fun to chat about what this is. I don't even give a fuck the result, to be honest. I'm surprised to be like. It's not like it's fun to bounce back, like just talk a little bit about like what the fuck we're getting and sensing. Like.
And I think to me, it sounds like you both are having a at least a fairly positive experience with the whiskey, and then being together, it's even better. So I think that's cool.
That's the fun, like to be challenged, like to like nose and taste and like really contemplate. And this one is so good and thought provoking that I'm trying to assess it, but at the same time, I'm trying to enjoy it because it's fucking good. Like. It's probably up there with like 87 to 89 range in the score. Like if I were to score this, it's in the high 80s at least. Just off one sample, like if you like go through a bottle, it might be and that's really good whiskey. So I just want to say that off the bat.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right.
I rate this one fairly high as well.
It's very good.
Fuck me. I've scratched out so many notes, and I'm just trying to go through it because the longer I sit with it, the more it evolves from one thing to another.
Man. Okay. There was only so much left. Like,
fuck it, I'm done. I can keep scratching shit out and redoing it, but it's not going to do me any good.
I need like 5 minutes.
You know what happens when you do that.
I need like 5 minutes. Wow.
Like,
we got time. You're good.
Best sample of the entire fucking showdown so far, Germ.
Yeah, I agree. This is the best whiskey I've had in this showdown for sure. Followed by that J. Henry, followed by the Lottie, and then followed by the Green Giant or the Green Giant.
Yeah, the Redwood.
Everyone Giant. Anyways. Oh. Man.
Nice. Close the deal.
Let me put this lucky hat on.
Close
Here.
the deal.
There you go.
Paid.
I shot very well when I golfed last week with this hat on. I was
Oh, so now it's your lucky hat.
21 over par or so, and I was like, all right. Yeah, it's so good.
You know, I want to scratch out all of my proof and then go up even higher with it because it just presents so fucking high. But at the same time, I've already got my proof up really fucking high. So it's just like, damn it, man.
Wrong tube. All right. I'm close, guys. I'm close.
You're good. No worries.
I just really enjoy this.
You know what? I am going to make one change because I'm looking at it.
The more you add water, the more it evolves and changes. The more my guess changes.
Because here's my problem. It goes malt to bourbon to rye to malt to bourbon to rye, and it bounces through this.
But the casks, because when you started, the cask was fairly known. Added water, cask changed.
Yep.
Added water, fucking location changed, and now, I don't know.
Pissing me off. I'm tempted just to write shit down all over the fucking board just to see what sticks, rather than trying to narrow it down in any one particular way because I can't. I'm almost certain. So I'm almost certain that there's an underlying factor in this one. Just because we've had several conversations about this topic, but my issue there, being,
fuck. Almost out of whiskey. Okay.
Oh, I know, dude.
All right. Man. Germ, thank you for putting this one in there.
Absolutely.
It is by far the most thought-provoking whiskey. Even my own stuff I've had in a while. Wow. Okay. I'm almost ready. Oh my God. It's my stumped look. Readjust the hat.
That's so fucking good. That's so fucking good, dude. Thank God we didn't do this one first.
Oh, man.
I mean, if we did this one first, I'd be so up shit creek without a fucking paddle, dude.
The cards did fall into your favor on that lineup, yeah.
I'm so close to it.
I love all the guessing on what it might be in the comments. It's actually pretty entertaining. Caesar.
All right, I'm done, Jerm. I'm ready to give you my stuff whenever.
Almost done, guys. Almost done.
Brandon's going to start us off, so whenever he's ready.
Okay.
Almost done. I'm going to stand on the last two. Give me a couple more minutes.
You good?
I'm going to go back to sample one, and I'm just going to see what it is.
Oh, my God. It's such a good...
After that palette density, I want to see what number one is.
All right.
Oh, dude, number one smells like shit now. like that really nasty banana Laffy Taffy note. Tastes better than it smells.
Man, this is...
The penis.
Well,
Corey.
Yeah, that craft single malt note comes through really fucking hard on one when you go back to it. That weird. I mean, just like Foggy Burrow. If you've had Foggy Burrow, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that chocolate milk, chocolate powder, black pepper note that's in there. Not the most appealing when you come off of 3.
I'm stuck between 2 distilleries, 2 bottlings, and 2 specific categories.
Okay.
I got the ABV down, I think, and I got the cast type down. I think such a wild whiskey.
Jeremy, you're just loving yourself, aren't you?
So much.
I am. I'm just giddy over here. I can't wait to tell you what it is because
I can't wait to know what.
I can't wait to see what the reaction is.
It's fucking gone. Oh, damn it! All right, I gotta fucking just put it down.
I still have that much left.
It's
my problem is I want to say single malt, then I want to say rye, then I want to go back to malt, then I want to go back over to rye, then I want to hit bourbon a little bit, but then I want to go back to rye, and I'm like, this is really pissing me off.
Oh, Joe, you know I am. This is definitely going to be the last reveal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm ready. Let's just fucking go. I decided to split it up into my 2 guesses in half. So,
okay.
Generic category, single malt. Generic ABV, 60%. Generic casking. Used oak.
You're not confident in that in the fucking slightest, because neither am I.
I'm not, but we'll see. I don't know. Specific category, Scotch. Specific ABV, 62.2. Specific cask, X sherry. Exact distillery. This is where I switched it up. Cavalon bottle, the Cavalon Solist, the sherry Solist. I don't know, like what year. And the reason I say that is because of some notes I get that correlate with the intermediate sherry I've had from Cavalon, except everything else is Scotland. It's probably an Edgedour. I have no idea. All right, go ahead.
Edgedour has been in the back of my mind this entire time.
Yeah.
But there's something key on the front palate that was on Edgedour that I don't find that I'm getting on.
Well, I don't get any coconut. I have no fruity pebbles, no coconut, and no pina colada on any Edgedour sherry I've ever had ever. And they're all cast, they're all sherry. It's all bitter sherry notes, period. But anyways, go ahead.
All right, my
all right, Marshall.
All right, I put this as a rye whiskey. I had to go rye.
It could fucking be.
The palate spice is just a little bit too harsh, I think, to be a single malt. But then again, whatever the fuck this is wonderful. I put my generic ABV. I went kind of crazy. I went 58.5. I think it's presenting hot, but I think it is hot as well. So I think 58.5. Okay. I'm going to go New Oak.
Again, completely different guesses. I love it. This is great.
Of course, it's for a specific category. I'm going to put rye. Specific ABV, I'm going to write down 118. For proof, I wrote down 118. I wrote that it was a mix for specific casking. I put new, and I put a port cask in there.
Ooh.
I don't necessarily know if it's port, but I think it's a wine cask finish.
Hey.
Okay.
And then I wrote a mash bill down because I had a whiskey similar to this at one point that had it was 100% rye mash, but it was 80% rye, 20% unmalted, 80% standard rye, 20% malted rye. And I had a mash bill like that at one point in time, and I wrote that down as a side note. I think this may be a Lost Lantern offering in their Midwest release that they just recently put out that Jerome was doing a bunch of talking about. And I couldn't remember exactly which one of the distilleries it was. And honestly, I just wrote the Wallerheim for distillery. And for bottle guess, I don't really have a specific bottle guess because I don't remember exactly what they had written down.
But you think it's the Lost Lantern, which when I dropped the SMWS stuff in there in the past, I've just allowed the SMWS as the guess for the bottle.
Because there's this weird thing that happens with independent bottlers where things tend to be a little bit more crisp. That back end's a little bit more crisp. It's like there's an underlying note. Now I don't know what Lost Lantern's profile is across, but the ones that I've had from you kind of present in a little bit of a cleaner way, and that's what made me think that's what it was.
Good thing you're wearing shorts, babe.
But
this is gonna be very close. I will say
that's a hard sample, dude. That is a really hard sample.
SWMS bottle, but that's the way that the palate.
I don't know, man. There's it to me. It didn't ring out. It didn't ring out SMWS.
I figured to play the game, like I was thinking Scotch, but I was half torn between like Indian whiskey. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna guess everything I feel it is, and at the end, I'm gonna do what I think it is for this. But all I know is I will buy this bottle this week.
I would buy it right now,
regardless of
which
price.
is stupid.
I'll order it online.
I'm broke as fuck right now, and I'd buy it right now.
Best one ever. Well, you got that roofing gig you tied up today, so that'll work.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean that my stuff has all come in up to par yet. I'm doing deals. I'm doing good, but
I think we're within 2 points of each other. If I had to guess, we're within 2 points.
Jerm, hit us with bottle one.
All right,
go. I'm going to hit you with the total score first.
Oh, really?
You are not within 2 points of each other.
Okay.
You are within 5 points of each other.
All right.
And the determining factor was bottle number one.
No shit.
No shit. Marshall, you ended up with 8 points.
Okay.
Brandon, you ended with 3.
Ooh.
Bottle number one scored you 0 points.
Damn it, dude. 8 points.
So we're going to start with bottle number one. Bottle number one, you guys, Marshall, you said single malt. Brandon, you said American whiskey. Marshall, you are correct. It is a single malt. Generic proof. Marshall, you said 55. Brandon, you said 58%. Marshall, you hit it on the head. It is 55%.
No shit.
Generic casking. You both said new. That is only 1/3 correct. Well, in generic, it'd be 1/2 correct. It is new and used oak. Specific category. Marshall, you said ASM. Brandon, you said wheat whiskey. Marshall, you got that right. It is an ASM.
Nice.
You dropped your proof for the specific. So you didn't get that. You said 94 proof. Brandon, you said 61.2%. It is actually 55%. Specific casking, you both said new again. It is aged in a combination of new oak, used oak, and then finished in a rum barrel. And specifically a Barbados rum barrel.
No shit.
Weird.
Exact distillery guess. Marshall, you said Westland. Brandon, you said Maker's Mark. Exact bottle, you said Foggy Burrow, Marshall, and Brandon RCO2. It is actually Westland.
Oh, no shit.
That's my second.
And it is from Raising Glasses. It is the Stories.
Independent bottler, man. What the
So
fuck?
funny.
But you know what? Again, there's that craft American single malt note, dude. It's just fucking there. And without Foggy Burrow, I don't know if I would have fucking found that. I don't know what they're doing, but it's just too fucking consistent.
I don't remember if it was this one or the next one. You said with chocolate malt. Which one did you say chocolate malt?
Number 2, I put chocolate malt on the thing, right? Or no, I'm sorry. Which one did I put chocolate malt on? Was that 3? No, what's the point?
It doesn't matter for the points because obviously that's not part of the category thing. But so it was 1 or 2, wasn't it? I thought it might have been 2. Actually, now that I think about it, Which
I have so
Okay,
many
so
things fucking
anyways.
scratched out.
Sample number 1 landed Marshall 5 points, Brandon 0.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
Sample number 2, moving on. I have dropped a little trickery into the showdown now. Sample number 2. The final score on sample 2 was Marshall 3, Brandon 2. So that one you guys were very close on to each other. Marshall, you said single pot still. Brandon, you said single malt. It is, in fact, a single malt. Marshall, again, I'm going to start calling you Brian with the proof. 46%. That is exactly what it is, 46%. Brandon, you said 43.
I have too much high proof.
Generic casking. Marshall, actually, you both said used. It is, again, new and used. Marshall, specific category, you said Irish single pot still. Brandon, you said Scottish single malt. It is an American single malt.
Whoa.
Really?
Interesting.
Really. Specific proof, 92%. Marshall, that is exactly what it is. 46%, 92%, or 46%, 92 proof. Brandon, you stayed with 43%. Specific casking. You were so freaking close, Marshall. You said ex-bourbon and sherry. It is actually new oak and then sherry barrel maturation at the same time. A combination of Oloroso and Pedro Menes.
Okay, so there's no way you would be able to narrow that. That's two distinctive sherries. There's something
right,
dirty,
and it's full maturation in both types of casks, and then blended together at the end.
Oh, yeah, that explains the dirtiness on the back end.
Yep, and both of you said the same thing: ex-bourbon and sherry. So I mean, you got the notes right. You got sherry. You got the bourbon or oak in there. Exact Distillery, Marshall, you said Great Northern, which I know you meant Middleton, but you said Great Northern.
Remember the name.
Brandon, you did say Macallan. Exact Bottle, Green Spot, Montelena, and 12 Double Oak for you, Brandon. I tricked you guys just a little bit. It is actually another Westland. And this is the Sherry Wood.
I almost went with Westland in the first one. That's so funny.
But you know what's weird is that they're
actually have it up
Westlands.
here.
Now, don't get me wrong. Doesn't Westland does a lot of peated stuff, don't they? Even if it's subtle.
Yes. Okay. So both of those bottles, is their 5 malt blend. So there is chocolate malt. There is some peated malt there, and then there's 5 different barleys in there. 2 of them are the same. One half of them is peated. So both of those are a 5 malt blend. So when you said chocolate malt, I think you probably can pick it up in there.
Yeah,
because I agree. I think Westland's a little chocolatey.
But too, it's still that's a boring ass fucking whiskey. Like,
it is a touch boring. I think,
especially for $100 and something.
Jesus,
yeah, $80.
Really? It's like $100 here. I think the Westland, the normal, the sherry, $100.
Yeah, and it's discontinued. You can't buy it, or you can't. They don't make it anymore. If it's still out in the world, you can still buy it. But okay, and everybody's favorite sample number 3.
Let's get to this.
Brandon, you scored 1 point on this one.
That's it.
Marshall, you scored 0 points on this one.
I didn't know what the fuck it was.
That was my chance. Wild fucking thing is this bottle. Fuck.
I love this because this is awesome.
I almost
Marshall,
the first one.
Marshall, you said rye for the category. Brandon, you said single malt. It is a single malt.
Fuck.
Marshall, you said generic ABV at 58.5. You missed it by pretty much 4%. And Brandon, you said 60. It is actually 54.65%.
Wait, it's lower? That drink's fucking hot.
Well, remember our first 2 kind of swayed our palates a bit.
No, not at all.
The first one was higher proof.
I'm not. No, I don't fall victim to that fucking mindset. Right? That something in that fucking whiskey drinks hot. That proof. Whoa. You'll figure
it out in a minute.
Yeah. I
you both said okay. So Marshall, you said new. Brandon, you said used for generic casking. It is actually new and used.
But you know what's funny is I literally have written down new and used on there, and then I scratched out the used because the robustness I didn't think contributed to a used cask.
Marshall, you stayed with rye for your specific. Brandon, you went to Scottish single malt. You are right, but you're not technically right. And I'll explain that in a minute. Specific ABV, Marshall, you went up a little bit, 118. Brandon, you went to 62.2. Again, it's 54.65. Marshall, you said new and port cast finish. Brandon, you said ex sherry. It is just new oak and ex bourbon barrel.
Okay.
Exact distillery, you said the Wollersheim from Lost Lantern. And Brandon, you said Cavalon's Solist.
Don't tell me this is like a Balcones.
It is not a Balcones. You are right in the right state, though.
It is a Texas whiskey.
Wait, what kind of?
Because the new oak in Texas can have that European oak influence, and the coconut, the stuff that threw me off is a fucking. That's why I guess in the Cavalon has a hot climate, and so I got what I got in the.
Is that what that? Is that what that?
So if it's new oak in a hot climate, it can come off like a sherry.
Okay, so
anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
To explain how you were right, but technically wrong. The distillery on this is Aaron.
Oh,
Isle of Aaron.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
And it came over to the States as new make, not in a bottle.
You sick fuck.
So it cannot be called Scottish single malt because number one, it was teaspoon.
It was distilled in Scotland, so it is Scotland.
It was distilled in Scotland. But it has to leave Scotland in a bottle to be called Scottish single malt.
Gotcha. But the
exact bottle.
This was from Scotland, and it's obvious.
And then it was teaspooned. That's one of their rules. They have to make it a blend in order for it to leave in a tote. So they put a teaspoon of something else in it, which is not enough to change anything. The exact bottle is the Aaron barrel.
Drinking that shit the other night too, you cocksucker. Oh.
So this is from Crowded Barrel Whiskey Company. They took new make Aaron. They aged it for 5 months in new oak in Texas, and then 14 months in a used Crowded Barrel bourbon barrel.
Oh, you know what? I hate them motherfuckers with a burning passion, but I love that fucking whiskey in that glass.
That is a phenomenal whiskey.
Yeah,
that's fucking good.
It's probably 88, 89 for sure. So good.
Price?
No, like the score, like it's probably one of the better whiskeys out there.
Yeah, I scored this thing super high. I don't necessarily put numbers on it, but this is one of my favorites.
Don't put numbers on it, but for me to say it's like high 80s, low, it's really good.
Okay, that's fucking impressive. And you know what's crazy is I knew there was something familiar. I tried that at the distillery, and I said, it's cool, but I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah, and this is my last one. This is from a long time ago. This is from I bought this in 22 or picked it up in 22. Obviously, it's not available, right?
Wow.
And this is my second bottle of it. I killed the first one. It only came in 375s, and I've been nursing the shit out of this one since.
Wow. It's fucking impressive.
The pina colada coconut on the finish is really good. Really good.
And that in my belief is the Aaron shining through.
So that's why I kept leaning into but see that's the reason why I'm like the barrel influence, the Texas aging barrel influence pulled me rye, but it kept plunging into malt and then back into rye. And I think I was fighting the distillate with the Texas aging, and that's what fucked me up. Dude, that's delicious.
This was a tricky set.
I love it.
That was a good one, dude. Two Westlands and then a fucking Texas aged Aaron.
And the two Westlands are the same distillate, finished differently.
So funny because actually I was looking at Westland earlier, and I'm like, you know what? I've had one Westland, and I just knew there's gonna be American whiskey on here.
Yeah,
and that's the one spot I've had least amount of. I love it.
But you know what?
I'm gonna buy that crap. I'm gonna buy that that last bottle, that crowd.
It's long gone, dude.
Is it?
So
it's long
realistically, when you guys were talking through that, you both said some really like on point things. You said hot climate aging for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Texas hot climate. I mean, it was really fun to watch you guys go through it, and obviously it's a trick whiskey, right?
Threw it off as it's not Texas distillate, and so I was like, no way, this is hot climate aging. It's not Texas. It's not American. It's Scotch or it's Cavalon. It's Cavalon. So that's why it's like, all right, boom, damn,
yeah.
But those
and in all honesty, Cavalon is an awesome guess. That's an awesome guess because it's good single malt and hot climate.
Hot climate, because it's not. That is not. There's no one in Texas making distillate like that.
No,
not in Andalusia or Balcones. It's not. There's none of their distillery notes. So, yeah, wow, what a tricky one. I love it.
You
motherfucker, I love you.
Yeah, I gotta say, like I said, I knew I was gonna hate the answer to that, and I've had that whiskey before.
Wow.
I figured you might have had it before, but such a long time ago that you would never remember it.
Nope.
That one's harder. It's hard to forget though. You taste that once, but it's hard in a blind.
Keep in mind, Brandon, when I was at Crowded Barrel, we weren't really drinking the stuff at the bar very much.
Damn.
We were going to the back room and we were always drinking the shit we brought for each other. So the stuff in the bar front really wasn't anything that was really hyper focused on. And honestly, in 22, I wasn't a fan of malt.
Right. Yeah. No,
so that evolution started in like the early part of 23 and now here in 24. So I gotta say, man, like fuck that place, but goddamn, they put some cool shit out.
You can't knock that. That's amazing. That's an amazing product in the bottle. You know, whether you like them, not like them, any of that, that's an amazing whiskey. And but with all of that, Marshall with the win, 8-3. So that means Marshall, and I don't have the date yet. I have 6/19 written down, but I think what's going to end up happening, I'm going to have to take a week in between.
That's
because I won't be able to send samples fast enough if I don't take a week break. So 7 days plus from the 19th. What are we looking at? The 26th, 6/26.
Just name it. So me and either Bobby or Caleb.
And you and Caleb, or you and Bobby, and Brandon. To get to the final four in this, obviously you were doing it right. You got a full-on, straight-up bottle guess all the way through.
No, dude.
And you were the only one that did that.
It's fine. I have I'm not even trying to I have the best palate ever. So
I think you did really good.
I'm not concerned about
Oh no, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Time out. You pulled two exact bottle guesses.
He pulled Andalusia and
you got the Andalusia and the Redwood. Yes, that's right.
It's not like it's fun. This is fun, man. It's fun, but to me, I'm just man, I just taste stuff that people don't get, and so when it comes down to a fine level, if I were to distill my own whiskey, I know it would be insane. If I were to pick barrels out, to bottle them and bottle my own shit in a single cast, it'd be absolutely fucking insane. And so that's the direction I'm going to probably go. This was amazing. Just to be able to taste stuff and blind, challenge your palate is so good. And I'm so happy for it. And I really, thanks for having me in this. You could have chosen a lot of stuff. And the fact you chose us and Marshall, bro, good job tonight.
Dude, you too.
And that last whiskey I'm going to find and get, because that was incredible.
Dude, it was.
If you find that whiskey, it's batch one of the errant barrel. And if you find it, I'm gonna find that bottle, and if I do, I'll let you guys know, because I'm gonna fucking source it out. And thanks for sharing your good stuff, man. I drink all my shit, so share it with people like this, and to do this thing is amazing. So
the nice part about this is there are several bottles now that I know I'm never going to buy.
Well, and great, and there's probably a few that you actually found that you might like that Crown Royal.
Dude, fucking Crown Royal from week 1. That thing was fire, dude. And it's $80.
Are you talking about the new release they have?
Yep.
No, the Noble Collection number 7.
It was
Canadian barley.
It was the
I missed it.
Noble Collection number 7.
I go on your YouTube and I can't see any of the lives or like any of the past lives. I meant to hit like, so like maybe the last round, I went to go watch the prior rounds. They're not on there for me.
He's not the first person that said
There.
that.
So you got to go over to the live tab. So if you go to the channel, there's video, shorts, and live. Hit the live tab, and they're all in there. And I have a playlist of them all too. So
that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm going to like your normal videos. So, all right, cool. I'm gonna watch those. All right, man. Well, I'll be watching the final. It'll be fun.
Cool. All right, everybody in the chat, thank you for all your fun comments and guessing on that last bottle. That was actually really entertaining to watch those guesses come in. And until next week, 6/12 with Caleb and Bobby from Bourbon Battalion and TX Whiskey Geek. Cheers. This American Spirit.